Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple MLB player props I like on Prizepicks for today for Friday, June the 17th. We do have a big Friday night slate. I think we got a full 15 games tonight. So every team is in action today. A lot of games, a lot of props to choose from. In this video, I'm going to share 3 props that I found that I did like, taking a first look at the board on Thursday night. So we'll talk through these 3 plays. We will share why I like them. Before we do, we can recap our plays from our last video on Wednesday. And we went 2-1 on our 3 plays that we gave out Wednesday. We did hit the over on Spencer Strider's strikeouts. He had a great strikeout game, even in a tougher matchup against a Nationals team that doesn't strike out much. Spencer Strider was able to get 11 strikeouts, went over his prop very easily. I think he hit like in the 3rd inning. So he went over. We also hit the over on Shane McClanahan's strikeouts, needed 7 from him, and he got us 7. That one was a little bit sweaty, but ultimately McClanahan was able to, I think he came out there in the 6th inning, got that 7th strikeout. But sadly, the one play that did not hit was the no-run 1st inning in the Yankees-Rays game. And man, like the way we lost that one was so unfortunate. There was one run scored in the 1st inning of that game, and it was a solo home run from Aaron Judge. And literally, I looked up on Twitter, that home run that Aaron Judge had would not have been a home run in any other stadium. It was only a home run because it was in Yankee Stadium, and obviously, Judge hit the ball to right field. With Yankee Stadium, with how it is, with that short porch in right field, it's very easy to hit home runs to right field. And Judge, hit the ball to right field. It went like, I want to say like 364 maybe, 364 feet. Barely got over the fence. Unfortunately, we did not hit the no-run 1st inning, but we hit our other 2 props. Now, I'm pretty sure we're still doing really well on our MLB plays this season. We're 2-1. We've gone 2-1 or better every day for MLB, and I think on the season we're 11-4 total on MLB props. So, been doing pretty well with our MLB plays. Again, guys, I got 3 plays I'm going to share in this video. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. I always appreciate the likes. Hit that subscribe button if you are new here. The NBA season sadly ended on Thursday night with the Warriors winning Thursday, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop making content for Prizepicks. We're going to be covering MLB all throughout the summer up until the NFL season starts. I'm going to try and get MLB videos up pretty much every day if I can. On the weekends, I might not upload every day for the weekends, but definitely like Monday through Friday. I want to try and get MLB videos up every day through the weekdays. So hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Also, make sure to check out Prizepicks and sign up with promo code Noah. Prizepicks, player prop based DFS site. If you bet player props on a sports book or on any other DFS site, I'd highly recommend you give Prizepicks a try. They have a lot of props available for MLB. They don't even have their full board posted yet. Like the props that you see up now, they're going to add more stuff than what you see now. This is just what they have posted as of Thursday night when I'm making this video. But obviously they have plenty of MLB props. They have PGA, CSGO, CFL, NFL. They have a ton of sports on Prizepicks. Also, Prizepicks is running another promo, a free square promo. It's for NFL, which I was a little bit questionable of. I mean, it's a free square, so you probably should bet it anyway. But it is for the NFL season. It's for week 1 of the NFL. They have Matthew Stafford's passing yard set at 0.5. So you would take the over on that. Find any pick that you like to pair with that, whether you want to do an NFL pick or you want to just find my MLB plays. Like if you want to pair my MLB plays with that free square for week 1 of the NFL season, you can do that. Again, it is for week 1 of the NFL, so that entry is going to remain in your account until week 1 of the NFL, which is on, it says it's on June 19th, but I think that's when the promo ends. So you have until June 19th to get the promo in. Week 1 of the NFL season isn't until Sunday, September 11th. So, if you want to play the promo, I mean, I'd recommend you do it because it's basically free money. If you play the promo, that entry will sit in your account until week 1 of the NFL season. But if you're fine having that money sit in your account, I mean, the max you can put on the promo is $25, so it's not like you're having to invest a ton of money anyway. I would recommend giving it a try. Obviously, sign up for Prizepicks. Make sure to use promo code Noah. Get your first deposit matched up to $100, and take advantage of this. Another free square promo that Prizepicks is running. It seems like they run these almost every other week. But let's talk through my my MLB plays for today. And we're going to start off in the pitcher fantasy score category. So I have 2 pitcher fantasy scores that I like for today, and then I have a strikeout prop that I like for today. So for pitcher fantasy score, we're going to go to Carlos Rodon, and we're going to be taking the over on 38.5 pitcher fantasy score for Rodon. And I know this number does seem pretty high, but Rodon has a great matchup here against the Pirates, and this is something that I always look to target for pitchers. I usually like to take pitcher props more than batter props just because I think predicting pitchers' performances in baseball, I think, is a little bit easier than predicting hitters' performance. I still think there's a lot of variance that comes with, hitters' performances. But for pitchers, anytime pitchers get favorable matchups, it's usually always going to be a spot I look to attack for props specifically. And picking on the Pirates is something that I've done all MLB season. Whenever it's the MLB slate, I literally pull up the slate, I look who's playing the Pirates and look who's pitching against them. I take a look at their props, and a lot of times I'm betting overs on whatever pitchers face the Pirates. And for today, obviously the Pirates are facing a very good pitcher. They're going to be going up against Carlos Rodon, who's had a great year so far this year. He's a really good strikeout pitcher, gets a lot of Ks, and you can see where he ranks in percentile rankings. There's a lot of red here, and on Baseball Savant, red is good. You want to see a lot of red, and Rodon has a lot of red in his percentile rankings. The only thing he does struggle with a little bit is walks. He does walk some guys a decent amount. Like this season, he's got a 9.2% walk rate. Curve spins average, but that's not something that I would be too worried about. But like K percentage, you can see where he ranks in K percentage. Gets a good amount of swings and misses. Gets a good amount of swings and misses out of the strike zone as well. So his chase rate is really high. This season, Rodon has over a 30% strikeout rate. He's just an elite pitcher. He gets a lot of strikeouts, and this is a very favorable matchup. The Pirates do strike out a lot versus left-handed pitching, and you can take a look at their lineup for tomorrow, at least their projected lineup. There's at least, I think, only 2 or 3 guys in this lineup have K rates below 20%. This season versus lefties, Brian Reynolds is striking out just 16%, Ke'Bryan Hayes just 10%, and then Heineman's just striking out 15%. Every other batter has a 20% K rate or higher. Mercado, Chavis, Vogelbach, Castillo, Sawinski, and Yu Chang. Now, Yu Chang, he's got a 55% strikeout rate this season, but that is in a very small sample size. He's only faced 18 lefties so far this year, but against those 18 lefties, he has struck out almost half of the time. So plenty of strikeouts in this Pirates lineup. You can look at where they rank on the season versus lefties. They have the third highest K rate, 24.3% strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. And when it comes to, their offensive statistic, their batting average, their on-base percentage, all those offensive statistics, they're towards the bottom. I mean, in terms of batting average versus lefties, the Pirates rank 25th. On-base percentage, they are 29th, so they're second to last. Slugging versus lefties, they're bottom 10. They're 20th in slugging. OPS, they are where they rank in OPS. They're 25th. ISO, I mean, this team doesn't have much power in terms of ISO. They're about middle of the pack in ISO, but every other category, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, the Pirates are towards the bottom of the league. And this is just an offense I'm going to look to continue to attack. They're just not a good team in general. I'm pretty sure for their implied run total for tomorrow, they have like a 3.4 implied run total. Yeah, 3.4 implied run total. Rodon is a very heavy favorite here as well, which is something that I like to see. Very good chance that he's able to get a win. And for fantasy score, a win is worth 6 points. So I could definitely see Rodon pitching 6-7 innings, getting a win, getting a quality start, probably gets 6, 7, 8 strikeouts at least. Easy path to him getting 39, 40 fantasy points going over his projection today. I think this line should be a little bit above 40. I think his projection should be like 40.5, 41.5. I feel like 38.5 is a little bit too low, especially with how good of a pitcher Rodon is, with how many strikeouts he can get, and with how good of a matchup this is against the Pirates. So that's the first play that I like for today. And then another play in the pitcher fantasy score category is going to be matchup based. I'm taking the over on 27.5 pitcher fantasy score for John Gray. And like I said, this is all about matchup. John Gray gets to face the Tigers today, who are, again, one of the worst teams in baseball. If you look at where they rank versus right-handed pitching this season, they have one of the highest K rates. They strike out at the they have the fifth highest K rate versus righties this season, 24.9%. And very similar to the Pirates when it comes to their offensive statistics versus right-handed pitching. Batting average, the Pirates have the second worst, or not Pirates, but the Tigers. The Tigers have the second worst batting average versus righties. On-base percentage, they are dead last in on-base percentage this season. Slugging, they are dead last in slugging. OPS, they are dead last in OPS. ISO, they're dead last in ISO. Like the Tigers are just terrible, man. They're just not a good offense. They've been a bad team for a while now, and they're still bad. I mean, their lineup is not very good. There's plenty of easy outs in this lineup, and there's plenty of strikeouts as well. You look at their projected lineup for tomorrow, their implied run total. Right now, let's see, the Tigers just have a 3.9 implied run total. And look at this lineup. I mean, there's a couple scary bats. Like Austin Meadows has power. Javier Baez has power, but he also strikes out a ton. And there's a lot of guys in this lineup that will strike out. You can take a look at their projected lineup for tomorrow. A lot of these guys have over 20% K rates. Really, the only guys that haven't been striking out much this year are Austin Meadows, who has an 8% strikeout rate this season, and then Harold Castro has a 17% K rate. Every other hitter is above, 20%? Victor Reyes, 24% K rate versus righties this year. Miguel Cabrera, 28%. Javier Baez, 28%. Robbie Grossman and Tucker Barnhart, they have strikeout rates above 30%. Like, there's a lot of Ks in this Tigers lineup. They're a weak offense in general. They don't really put up a ton of runs. Now, John Gray, like, he's not an elite pitcher by any means. He's just like kind of an average pitcher, but he does have a solid K rate. He's got a 26% strikeout rate this season. I just think with how good of a matchup this is versus the Tigers, with how bad this Tigers lineup is, Gray can easily get like a quality start here. He can easily get 5 or 6 strikeouts. His strikeout prop is set at 5.5, and that was one that I was looking at. Like, I think that 5.5, over 5.5 Ks for John Gray looks pretty good as well. But I definitely like the over on his pitcher fantasy score, just because I think he should be able to get a quality start here. If he gets a quality start, that's that's like 20 points or 22 points, assuming he doesn't give up, a ton of runs. Like, if he gets a quality start, only gives up like 1 or 2 runs, that's like 20 points right there. And then if he could just get a couple strikeouts, he's probably going to go over this 28 or this 27.5 pitcher fantasy score. Love the matchup here for John Gray. I think, when you're taking a look at pitcher props, you always want to be looking, at matchup. That's just so important. And when it comes to teams facing the Pirates, the Tigers, usually I'm going to be betting overs. I'm going to be betting the overs on the pitchers facing those teams, and that's definitely the case for today. So I like those 2 pitcher fantasy score overs. And then the last prop I like is a strikeout prop. And basically, we're going to go back to that Tigers and Rangers game, and we're going to be taking the over on 5.5 strikeouts for Tariq Skubal. Going to be going to the other side of that game. Like the matchup a lot for Skubal here against the Rangers. The Rangers, not as bad as the Tigers or the Pirates, but the Rangers are not a good offense either. Outside of like Marcus Semien and Corey Seager and maybe Adolis Garcia, like this lineup is just not that good. I mean, you could look at the 4 through 9 hitters. A lot of these hitters, just like average hitters at best. A lot of these guys will strike out as well. And I want to pull up the Tigers or the Rangers so far this season versus left-handed pitching. Sure, guys like Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, they don't strike out a ton, but this year, Adolis Garcia, he's got a K rate above 30%. Nate Lowe, Duran, Culberson all have strikeout rates above 20%. Cole Calhoun, his K rate versus lefties is only 18% this year, but that does seem, I feel like that's going to rise. He's never been a guy that's really hit lefties that well. He normally does strike out a good amount versus lefties. And Skubal, he's a really, really good strikeout pitcher. You can take a look at his numbers so far this season. He's had a great year so far this year. Very high strikeout rate. He's got a 27% K rate so far this season, which ranks 78th percentile. He has a very low walk rate, so he doesn't really walk many batters, which is another thing you'd like to see. He's going to be putting the ball in the strike zone, and he can also get swings and misses. Like in terms of whip percentage and chase rate, he has pretty solid numbers there. He's not been getting hit too hard this season either. He's a solid pitcher. He's a guy that can get strikeouts, and I think this is a favorable matchup for him against the Rangers. The Rangers versus left-handed pitching this season, their K rate is not super high. They're about middle of the pack. They rank 18th in strikeout rate versus lefties, 21.3%. But when you do numb that down to like the last 14 days, that number is a little bit higher. Over the last 14 days, they do rank 8th in strikeout rate versus lefties, 22.5%. So they've been striking out a little bit more lately. And again, I just think the matchup's really good here for Skubal. He's been able to get 6 strikeouts more often than not this season. I do want to pull up his game log just to confirm, but I think he's got at least 6 strikeouts in a large majority of his starts this year. So he's made, it looks like he's made 12 starts this season. He has 6 strikeouts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 12 starts, he's got at least 6 strikeouts, and he's gone over that 5.5 K prop. But he's had a lot of starts. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4 starts where he's finished with 5 strikeouts, and then he had 2 starts where he had 4 Ks and 3 Ks. But he's been getting about 5 to 6 strikeouts almost every start. I think in this matchup against the Rangers, there are definitely enough Ks in this lineup that Skubal can get us 6 strikeouts here. I think this line should be 6, if not 6.5. I definitely like this matchup here for Skubal. I think he will be able to get us 6 Ks. So these are going to be my 3 plays for today, guys. We're going to be taking the over 38.5 pitcher fantasy score for Carlos Rodon, over 27.5 pitcher fantasy score for John Gray, and then over 5.5 strikeouts for Tariq Skubal. Big Friday night slate for MLB, a lot of games tonight. I was able to find 3 props I like taking a first look at the board. I will share more plays that I like over on Patreon. So if you guys have been enjoying these MLB videos, if they've been helping you out a lot, you want to get more content from me, I do provide additional Prizepicks plays each day over on Patreon. Check those out. link down below in the description. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll take a look at the board again, try and find some more plays I like, share those over on Patreon. So if you're interested, check that out, link down below. Also, guys, make sure you hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure to check out Prizepicks and sign up with promo code NOAH. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And if you want to take advantage of this free square that Prizepicks is running for week 1 of the NFL season, they have Matthew Stafford's passing yards set at 0.5. That's obviously a free pick that you can do. You just take the over on that. If you want to pair that with my MLB plays for today, feel free to do that. If you want to find some other props that you like, obviously Prizepicks has a ton of options. They offer a ton of props in various sports. Definitely give them a try. Sign up with promo code NOAH and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all that I got for tonight, guys. Wish you the best of luck on this Friday night MLB slate, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.